The live-action How to Train Your Dragon has finally landed in theaters, and to the surprise of many, it's not just a nostalgic rehash, it's a heartfelt retelling that actually works. Though skepticism surrounded the idea of rebooting such a beloved animated classic, the 2025 film proves itself early on, silencing doubters with a single unforgettable sequence, the test drive flight. And in doing so, it proves something most fans assumed was impossible, that a live-action remake can capture the magic of the original. The scene that changes everything. Test drive in live action. For longtime fans, the test drive sequence, when Hiccup and Toothless take to the skies together for the first time, was the make-or-break moment. In the 2010 animated film, it marked the beginning of their bond and set the tone for the trilogy's emotional journey. Recreating that scene with real actors, CGI dragons, and photorealistic landscapes felt like a risk. But it's a risk that paid off. From the sweeping cliffs of Berk to the turbulent, misty air that surrounds Hiccup and Toothless as they navigate the skies, this version of the sequence is both a faithful homage and a visual upgrade. Thanks to modern effects and imaginative cinematography, audiences don't just watch the flight, they feel it. The camera soars alongside them, ducking and diving, plunging through clouds and dodging sea stacks. It's immersive in a way even the original couldn't quite replicate. Backing all of this is composer John Powell, who returns with a reimagined version of his now iconic score, titled Test Driving Toothless. His music once again elevates the entire moment, making the flight feel triumphant and emotionally charged. It's here that the film does something remarkable. It makes you forget you ever doubted it in the first place. The remake proves it deserves to exist, something Disney struggles with. Most live-action remakes prompt the same question: why was this necessary? It's a criticism that Disney has been facing with increasing frequency, especially with films like Snow White receiving lackluster responses both critically and publicly. In contrast, How to Train Your Dragon avoids this pitfall almost entirely. Rather than feeling like a soulless copy, the film embraces its new format to reintroduce the story's heart. The blend of real-world visuals with fantastical elements like dragons and Viking culture allows for a sense of grounded wonder. It doesn't try to modernize the material in ways that diminish its original charm. Instead, it leans into what made the story special and lets the live-action setting enhance that. Where Disney remakes often miss the emotional depth or overpolish the storytelling, DreamWorks adaptation maintains the sincerity of the original. It doesn't try to outdo the animated version. It simply honors it with reverence and care. What DreamWorks got right that Disney often gets wrong. The success of How to Train Your Dragon's live-action version boils down to a few key choices. Respect for the source. The remake doesn't feel like it's running from its animated origins. It sticks closely to the original script and character arcs, trusting that what worked before still works now. Visual believability. Thanks to a setting rooted in reality, rugged terrain, medieval Nordic influences, and natural weather elements, the transition to live action feels seamless. Unlike some Disney remakes that struggle to make talking animals or exaggerated fantasy worlds look natural, HTTYD finds that balance between realism and magic. Emotional continuity. The bond between Hiccup and Toothless remains the story's emotional core. The chemistry between Mason Thames, Hiccup, and the VFX-created Toothless is convincing and moving, proving that even with digital characters, emotional truth can shine through. Live-action remakes aren't always a mistake. If there was ever a remake that could challenge the idea that live-action reboots are unnecessary cash grabs, this is it. The 2025 How to Train Your Dragon doesn't just retell the story, it reintroduces its heart, its magic, and its timeless themes of friendship and understanding to a new generation. And by nailing its most iconic moment, the film makes a compelling case for its own existence. Not every animated classic needs a remake. But if they must exist, this is the way to do it, with respect, purpose, and just a little bit of flight-tested magic.